So, we will begin. Sairam, everyone. First, thank you to Swami for once again bringing all of us together on a beautiful weekend and making it possible for us to connect virtually despite us not being able to meet physically over the past few months. So today we're very, very privileged and blessed and very happy to have with us Brother Anand Kadali. Most of us, actually all of us, will be very familiar with him. We've definitely heard him. If we've not seen him, we've heard him speak before. We've seen him on various videos. We know about his story, and later on I'll invite him to share a bit more about his story and his experiences and anything he'd like to share with us. But I think we were very blessed, and the purpose of today's session is, it's the first what we call the Seva Webinar, where we're going to try and invite various guests, role models in various aspects of Swami's mission and also beyond Swami's mission, eventually as we expand to share with us their experiences, and also this very intimate opportunity for us to share with them our experiences, some of the projects that we are conducting, the challenges we're facing, and ask them for advice. So today we have Sister Sindhu from Australia, Brother Dhayalan from Malaysia, and Sister Diah from Indonesia. They are our representatives from the region who will be sharing their experiences with feeding or nutrition projects. And the rest of us, we'll be watching them have a conversation with Brother Anand and learn a lot. I'm sure we will learn a lot from this. So at the end of the whole session, as usual, we will have a short, maybe 10 minutes Q&A with Brother Anand and our representatives. So thank you all very much for joining this session. And there'll be a recording of this session for those of our youth who couldn't make it today. So without further ado, I'd like to pass the time on to our very own Brother Anand Kadali. Brother, please. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks Ryan for introducing, and I'm very happy that kind of being able to connect to all of you on this web call. And I appreciate Ryan for giving this opportunity. We have two of our colleagues also have joined. We have Mr. Sai Prasad Ivaturi, who is also there on the call, and we also have Mr. Jai Prakash Talam. Both of them are trustees of Sri Sathya Sai Annapoorna Trust. Thanks to joining Sai and Jai Prakash sir. It was a short notice, but I kind of wanted to see if we can join for this call. So let me just also take this opportunity to share very good news which we have for all of you who are there right now in this call. The whole intent is just while we do this Annapoorna Breakfast Programme, there has been there's a new paradigm shift on the whole outlook to Annapoorna, and it is more to do with Swami starting the latest online video classes. I'm not too sure how many of you are aware, but these online video classes are being initiated from Mudanalli as per Swami's guidance, and it is called Sri Sathya Sai Lokaseva Gurukulam. So Sri Sathya Sai Lokaseva Gurukulam basically contains all the videos which are required for a student to learn, especially during this current pandemic, which is actually not allowing the children to come back to the campuses. So that is something which I thought I should brief you because this is something very, very unique, and it is taking those baby steps now, but I could see a larger impact happening for the entire world later. So yeah, so let me just share a few points which he being in Mudanalli, what has been happening here the last 2 months. Because see, I don't want to run through my personal life and how it all started, Annapoorna, etc. All of you know it, so I don't see a reason for us to ponder upon that. Unless you really want to know about it, we can always have a separate meeting. But today, as I speak with you for the last 60 days, I'll tell you what I've experienced. It's not something which we would have got it if the pandemic or the COVID-19 was not there. So till now, if most of you know, see, Swami has always been insisting on doing the seva. So you should participate in seva activities. And then, you should also ensure that while you're doing seva activities, you should have the selflessness over there. And somewhere down the lane, since last 8 years, the core focus for Annapurna and for the team was 90 to 95% purely on seva. And we were always kind of going and attending to the seva activities in the various schools. And we thought this is the way forward, and we should kind of get near to Swami through seva. So now listen to this very important point, brothers. All of you, most of you might be thinking, and most of you even congratulate me. Most of you even call me and tell me. Some of you are even taking me as an inspiration. Oh, he is doing a wonderful job. He and his team are doing a wonderful job. We should do something like this. While all of you tell this, sometimes I feel, yeah, I think maybe I'm doing something good, but to be very honest with all of you, uh, there is something which I am also lacking on, and that is being the sadhana part of it. So Swami has always told that you should have both seva and sadhana. It's like a bird having the two wings. You cannot just fly, with one wing. So you just can't go and start running and running behind these numbers and trying to achieve 1 lakh children, 100,000 children, 300,000 children, 500,000 children. In fact, in one of the meeting, Swami has very specifically told that the trust is growing, the Annapurna Trust is growing, but are the trustees growing? Are the trustees means are the members of the Annapurna team growing? So very indicatively, he was telling that he is not happy. Actually speaking, he's not happy with the way things are going forward from a personal standpoint. Yes, children are getting food, that is fine, but what is the transformation happening in you? So that was the first incident which happened last year in the month of September. And then in October, Swami actually called the lead volunteers, everybody, for a meeting. And it was a very private meeting, and we were all called upon. And again, there also, he very clearly told that, I know that all of you are working hard. You're trying to make the difference for a child. But, you should also do sadhana. Sadhana is missing. Sadhana has to be done. It has been very emphatically, he has told this 3 to 4 times. I'm not interested in the whole projects. My mission is you. My mission is to transform you. And that did not get my mind. In fact, I openly spoke to everybody in front of Swami and said, Swami, as guided by you, we will do our sadhana. Definitely, we will do our sadhana. This is what I told to him. But that is in October. And it's a prime time. Swami's birthday came in November, and then there is divine trip in December. Then you had this January where the sports meet came, and then you have the Shivaratri, and that's another month of activity. So 4 months have happened, and again we are also closing near to the academic year end. So if you look at it, Swami told this, and we promised that Swami will do sadhana in the month of October. Until March, we didn't do anything. To be very honest, I don't know about any other team members, but I personally has not done any sadhana. So when I say sadhana, yes, in our definition, we say sadhana means maybe 15 minutes or 20 minutes of chanting of Rudram, or taking part in bhajans for half an hour. And then, that is given. That is the usual norm which each of us are doing. We don't want to deny that. But that does not, make it as the whole definition of sadhana. Sadhana has to be very intent. You have to continuously think about Swami. You have to think about, trying to reach out to God, trying to connect to God. If Sadguru Madhusudan Sai is able to see Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba, why is it I am not able to see? Why is that, my mind is still not pure? Those are the questions which we were supposed to ask ourselves. I mean, there are 3-4 questions which I personally used to ask myself. Why is that I'm not able to listen to Swami's voice, see Swami? Why is that I'm not able to control my mind? Why is that I'm always anxious? Why is that I have a bit of ego? I don't know how much ego, we don't know. It all depends upon the conversations which we have. Why is that I'm getting ego? Why am I getting frustrated? Why am I getting irritated? 95% you're very good, but that 5% is what makes you a better individual. Swami always says, na, Swami Vivekananda says, you scratch the person, the beast comes out. So like that, we are not kind of doing the right thing of transforming ourselves. And Swami has been telling us since last 2 years, sadhana, sadhana, sadhana. Only if you do sadhana, your mind will be under control. When the mind is under control, then you will be a better person. You will have a better pure mind. You will get better thoughts, good words, good actions. All these things will come one after the other. So this is up to February, March. We did not do any sadhana at all. And then, as usual, Swami called us for an interview in the month of March. And in the interview, that was a very basic interview, trustees meeting. And we were telling Swami, here also the same old, thing. Swami, now we are reaching 500,000 children, but there's a potential to reach not 1 million, 1.5 million children. So it's not a joke. It's just not 1 million. We had a pipeline to show to Swami. It is 1.5 million children. There is an opportunity, Swami. Governments are coming forward. They would want us to join hands and work together. I was super excited to tell all this news to Swami. But Swami was not at all interested. He said, I am all okay with this, but are you doing sadhana? Is it happening at your place? Now, if you're not doing sadhana, then I don't need any of these reports. And we have a couple of our trustees in this call, and they can also vouch for that meeting which we had very clearly. So then, March 22nd, there was a lockdown, and then the lockdown happened. And after the lockdown, people were told that you should stay back at home. So fine, no problem. As usual, we were running, trying to do something for our seva activity, trying to coordinate with 3-4 governments. And then it continued. We thought this lockdown is only for maybe 2 or 3 days time. And again, things will fall in place. Then we started seeing that, the whole number of COVID-19 issues coming up across various countries. Then there is a, lot of restrictions kept. And suddenly we see there's a lockdown which has moved from just for 2 days to all the way even now. It's about close to 75 days. We are in this lockdown. So then what happened during this lockdown? We didn't realize, unfortunately, even in this lockdown, for the first 1 month, I personally did not realize that I should have used this particular time for sadhana. We were still thinking, okay, we'll go in the morning, attend to our official work, come back. So likewise, Swami also all through till April 30th, all till that time, Swami was talking about Bhagavad Gita. Then he was talking about Gita Vahini, Jnana Vahini. But all these things, I think you might be aware. They're all available on the video links. Then started something called as Master the Mind series. Now, this Master the Mind series, I'm sure how many of you, I'm sure some of you are also following the Master the Mind series. If you're not following it, please follow the Master the Mind series. And this is exactly what Swami told in that Master the Mind series is to control your mind. So then I started reading this episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, episode 4. The moment I started reading all these things, then that is when I got this idea, yes, we need to do sadhana. Okay, so what kind of sadhana I should do? It's not that, I'm trying to tell this is this is for me. I felt this is the sadhana I need to do. It may not be applicable to you. Now, anyways, we can't do any service activities also. You can't even go out of Mudanali ashram. If you are Mudanali, if you're staying in Mudanali, you can't even go out of the Mudanali ashram outside. And you cannot even invite outside people to come inside Mudanali. This has been a strict guidance within the ashram for the last 2 months. Nobody from outside is allowed. So you're locked completely inside. So then Swami started this Master the Mind series. And then, then I realized, okay, Swami, if you want us to do sadhana, yes, for 1 month I wasted it. I did not do anything. So from May 1st onwards, I started doing this sadhana. The usual Rudram chanting and all used to happen, Swami told you have to do 11 times. Swami told you should also do every day once in the morning and evening. All those things were happening. But, what basically really touched me is this time is the time for us to assess our mind. What is our mind talking? Where is the state of our mind? Is it in a tamasic state or a rajasic state or a sattvic state? The usual way of what Swami tells. So then we started trying to internalize what Swami told. And if you go and see what Swami told, if you see one statement which Swami made in the whole of this 30 days, he said, if you follow this, you will become Brahman. What is Brahman? You will become God. I don't know how many of you have actually seen it. 30 days he said, follow this. And if you continue following even now also, you will become God. And I'm sure it is not so easy. To be very honest, it is an effort which we have to put it. Your mind always wavers. And sometimes it's very challenging for us to think in those lines and attain this whole thing of Brahman. See, you can understand this is coming from straight from me. If people think that Anand is very close to Swami, is very near and dear to Swami, let me explain you. I am opening my heart and telling you completely. I'm telling you, just not that if you are in Mudanalli, you're closer to Swami, that you have attained divinity. I am at the same level of divine consciousness like somebody who's sitting in Singapore. Same. I'm like the same person. I'm like Ryan only. I'm like whoever is there in the car. It doesn't matter. We never know. Ryan is more, even more connected to Swami. We don't know. Or there will be somebody over here who is even more connected to Swami. So then what I did, I actually kind of, prayed to Swami. Swami, and let me explain you. These are all very practical things and it's very important for you to know also. See, this whole concept of Annapoorna Breakfast Program, it is very good for us to know that, Annapoorna has brought in lot of opportunities for people from outside. But, if you look at the same time, personally for me, when I look back, it is all driven by Swami and Swami did it. So when I was doing this sadhana every day in the morning, so what is that? What is the difference I made to the sadhana? What we did is just not doing the usual chanting. We know all this concentration, contemplation, meditation Swami told, and that is the way forward. So, Swami has been also telling in those episodes that you should concentrate first. Concentrate for 9 seconds. Then you do the contemplation. Contemplation is for another 9 seconds. Then you meditate. Meditation is like 9 to 9 to 9 times. So this is something which we knew. Swami told earlier also. But he said, now at least now you practice because there is nothing for you to do now. There is no disturbance. Nobody calls you. There are no phone calls. Nobody disturbs you. There is no work for you. Imagine you have no work for 2 months. So what are you supposed to do? Either you have to read some books or you have to do some meditation, concentration, contemplation, whatever it is. So then Swami gave this various techniques, how to concentrate, how to contemplate, etc. So that was the difference which actually brought in that sadhana thing which Swami was been telling for a long time. So what basically a sadhana as such he meant by doing sadhana, you should be stability in your mind. A stable mind should be there. See, if you see Natsimurti sir, or if you see Isaac Tegret sir, or if you see Srinivas sir, if you go and talk to them, you will definitely see there is always a stability process. They're very unique in that, they don't really get hesitated or irritated. They're not in an excited mode. They're like yogis. They are very calm and composed. This is exactly what Swami is asking us, all the youth to do. Because I can give a simple example. We get super excited, I can give a simple example like this. Ryan calls me and tells me, Anand, we will have a call with you and this call is on so and so time. The first thing which comes to our mind is, oh, wonderful, I've been recognized by the Asia Pacific team. I've been called for a meeting. See, these kind of thoughts come to us, which is actually, a kind of an ego which, kind of gets into our mind. So if you look at it, that is not going to help us anyway. So we have to, it's all Swami's will. Swami wants us to talk to this youth. Yes, let us do the best effort to talk to them. But that will not come in the first instant. Okay, the first thing will come is, I've been called for a meeting and I'm very happy. I'm just giving an example. just to tell it is something with me. It could be with somebody like you also. So when he said sadhana means having that equal mindedness, whether you are in a happy state or whether you're in a sad state, whether you're in a pleasurable state or in a pain state, anything for that matter, you should have that equal mindedness. But why Swami is telling this to us right now? Because there's no work for us at this point of time. All you can do is do this sadhana, get that mind under control. How much ever you do, how much ever we do it, still our mind is never under our control. So then finally I asked Swami, I've been doing this contemplation, or you can say concentration, not even meditation. So Swami, I'm doing this meditation, but somewhere Swami, I'm still not been able to connect to you. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. All of you are there in the call. Can we sit for ourselves silent for 5 minutes? I mean, it is a challenge for ourselves. For 5 minutes, are we able to think of nothing in our mind? It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen to me also. It doesn't happen to me. And Swami here is telling that that is the only way. He says you have to meditate. You have to concentrate. Then you have to contemplate. Then you can go to meditation. And the first is nothing should come in your mind. And then Swami slowly gave the various paths. Swami told there are three various paths are there. Whatever seva which we do is basically like karma yoga. Whatever all of us take part in seva activities. Why do we do seva activities? So that we have gratitude to the God. Oh God, we are very, very thankful to you that we are in a comfortable state. And here I see another person who is not in a good state. Let me do whatever is possible for him so that I can see God in you and do seva so that I become more pure and more selfless. That is something which most of you know it. That is the karma yoga. The second is the bhakti yoga. What is this bhakti yoga? All of us get up in the morning, take part in this usual seva, not seva, the prayers. Sometimes when you see the bhajans coming up, you become so happy, you know, those bhajans, when you listen to them, even tears come in your eyes. So you get so engrossed into such kind of bhakti where, you know, when Swami's bhajans come, you can visualize Swami and then you think about him and you're continuously into that yoga. That is called bhakti yoga. But Swami says ultimately these two together should bring you to jnana yoga. So what is this jnana yoga? Jnana yoga is this exactly the contemplation on the mind. It's basically like concentration, contemplation, meditation of the mind. So this jnana yoga is nothing but kind of energizing your mind, controlling your mind. So if you look at it, Swami got an absolutely perfect opportunity for making all of us use this COVID-19 phase for controlling our mind, nothing else. Because seva, we can do it. It is just that, you know, you go outside, you can have your hands and legs, you just go there and do seva. Bhakti yoga, yes, you can do it. You can switch on the tape recorder, you can switch on any of the YouTube channels, look at Swami and be happy with that. But jnana yoga, are you able to concentrate? Are you able to keep your mind so composed and calm? No, this is including me. Even today also, you know, how much ever you put an effort, again, it's like the clock resets back to zero. And we are again back to because suddenly some thought comes. And that thought will make our mind drive it away and we go all the way somewhere else. And by end of the day, we have to blame ourselves. Ayo, Swami told, have good thoughts. Here I'm getting bad thoughts. I'm getting bad thoughts and bad thoughts lead to bad actions. Bad actions are actually not good for me. So this is exactly what is happening to me very honestly with all of you. I'm here to tell you that let us focus more on trying to control our mind, keep it more calm and composed. See, as I speak, when I'm saying, please don't assume that I have already achieved it. That is why I'm telling it. I am practicing it. I am also one of you guys over here. I am practicing it. And I'm asking you to practice it. Now, why I have to ask you to practice it? There are two things over here. See, being in Mudanhalli, your mind is always about the subtle Satya Sai Baba, Sadguru Madhusudan Sai, who's there. So you know, okay, there is God over there. And you know, we should be very careful in whatever talk, whatever thoughts, whatever words, whatever deeds you do. But you are not in Mudanhalli. You are outside of Mudanhalli. You are in Singapore. You are in New Zealand. Your mind becomes so, you know, fickle-minded. It says, okay, fine, I'm not in Mudanhalli. What is there? Whenever next time I go to Madanali, that time I'll purify myself. Let me just see this movie. How many of us have mobile apps? Completely with Netflix, Amazon, Geo Cinemas, whatever is it. Definitely, all of our mobile apps are with these kind of apps, right? Why? We want to, keep our mind engaged. We want to see some movies. Some movies could be good. Some movies may not be good. Some movies are not at all to be seen, but we keep seeing them. And again, we repent. Why did I do like this? So I am saying this because today in Mudanandi, if we are even with such fickle-mindedness, the mind is still powerful to deviate. Imagine you guys are not even here. You are somewhere outside. So how much more you have to control your mind? You have to definitely control your mind. That is only the way to do sadhana, and that will only purify your mind, which will eventually someday or the other take nearer to God and you become God. And that's what Swami says. Swami has very clearly said, I'm waiting for you to come this side. The thresholds are very low. Even if you do a small effort, I'll pull you from this side, from that side to this side. And our Sadguru can do it. He is a Brahmajnani now. He is a Brahmajnani. He has seen the entire phase of ascension from a man to God. He's a Brahmajnani. But what do Brahmajnanis do? They don't keep it to themselves and be happy. They know, oh, my friends are there on the other side of the shore. Let me do my effort to bring them over here. Maybe he's doing that. And absolutely, this is what he's doing. All the excellence boys over there, all the young guys over there, Swami is spending time every day with them just to have an impact of Brahmajnanam on them so that they become divine, they become godly. And every day I see them. Swami calls every day for an evening satsang, and you see Swami has been talking only about how do you become God, nothing else. He doesn't talk about any projects, no hospitals, no educational campuses, no Annapurna, not even about any other activities being done outside of India. Nothing comes to Swami's mind. He only asks, where are you? How is the sadhana going? Have you improved from yesterday to today? That is the only thing he's asking. So I thought, I should convey these kind of insights to you, which is very much important at this point of time, because the lockdown is continuing and it will continue for the next 1 month also. If somebody within this group has not started, please start it. It's my honest opinion to tell you that start with Master the Mind series. Take every episode, take your own time, be very, don't try to listen to this whenever you get time. Take a time for 1 hour and time when you are not disturbed. Most of the time, we are always disturbed by the phone calls. As we speak, when I'm having this conference call with you, still I'm getting 2 or 3 calls. Like this, we should not be disturbed. So these are certain things which I thought today as a platform which I got to speak. I'll explain and share it with you. So this is something in a nutshell. I don't want to kind of take much time talking about the same topic. Most of you might be listening to it. So that's it, Ryan. So, you can probably tell if I uh, crossed the time. It's only 10:35. I think I was given about 20 to 25 minutes to speak. Yeah.
Sayam, Brother Anand, thank you so much for all that you share. And I think it's a really good reminder for everybody that, somebody from the ashram itself to tell going through an experience of mastering the mind. It's a really good reminder for everybody. So thank you so much for sharing that with all of us. So for today's session, we're going to do a panel discussion with 3 of us who a representative who are doing the feeding service in our in our individual countries. So there's myself. My name's Sindhu. I'm from Australia. There's Brother Dhayalan from Malaysia and Sister Diah and Brother Arjun from Indonesia. So we will be talking about the service that we're doing and how we're going about doing all of that, and then we will ask Brother Anand to share his perspective or advice if there's any hurdles or problems that we've been encountering. So just so you can shed some light and help us along the way. Maybe Brother Dhayalan, do you want to go first? Do you want to start?
Hey, Sairam, brother.
Saram.
Yes, brother, I thought this session, I don't know how it's going to be, but just know what brother Anand say. Really, I can have this kind of session almost every day, every hours. Very, very beautiful. Just a great reminder to all. Sometimes we do the seva also. Sometimes with the ego, we feel sometimes the higher plane. So now how you come and tell how to crush everything down, put our sadhana back. Really, thank you, brother. Very super, really nice.
I hope it
So
was interesting for all of you, because I thought this is the only thing which can be spoken at this point of time.
Yeah, really very great. It's really an eye opener for all everyone. Yeah, this is this kind of message that I really need. Yeah, thank you very much. So here in Malaysia, actually, I don't know why brother pick up me actually for Malaysia, because in Malaysia all other service activities are going on. I'm just doing a small, very small part here. I actually not representing here Malaysia. It's one service activity which has been done here. That's the thing, brother. I don't know why he picked me. Okay, here actually we are doing homeless people. We are feeding the homeless people. It's actually not daily. They need every day, but we are doing only once a week. It's about around 100 people here. We are feeding. We cook and we pack and we distribute to them in the midnight time, because only in the midnight all these homeless people used to come out in the city of Kuala Lumpur. So how to do daily, we were trying to do every day, but we fail to do. So we just doing it for once a week for 100 odd people. So here actually how the volunteers came, they are not side devotees actually. We started a class last year. Every place we go, I work, we started a class like a youth vikas and bal vikas. So these people will come and join us, about 30 to 40 of them. We take in batch for serving the homeless. So these people come and join. Later or soon, they said something very interesting about your Baba. So they come and join, and then they start learning about Swami, and then they join our family team, and then they start doing the cooking and packing, and we distribute it to all our homeless people. We are enjoying the work activity when most probably we not only the food. Sometimes we start to collect some of the clothes, shoes, like this, and we distribute to all these people. Yeah. So we do have a lot of problems during doing this. Uh, the things that we can't do it daily, they need the food daily, so we are not able to do that. So we are just doing it once a week, and um,
Take some
yeah,
time to also speak about the master the mind series to them. I think you should start push, because it's very easy. The Swami Sadhguru has explained it in a very easy manner. So you should tell the team also you should push them, just like how I'm pushing all of you over here. I know some of you are definitely participating and being a part of that Master the Mind series. But for the newcomers, you should do this. You're
great,
aware of it,
great,
right? Are you following it yourself, Saidaya?
brother. No, brother.
Yeah,
I
that's
I
right.
will, I will.
Yeah, you start
So
doing it. Yes. Yes.
okay. Yeah, Sister Sindhu, I think that's the thing.
Okay. So for Australia, so a few different states in Australia that are doing the feeding service. So I'll just briefly explain what each state's doing, and then I'll focus on Murwillumbah is where I am at in the service that we're doing here. So in Melbourne, they're doing homeless feeding in a caravan park. They cook on site and they serve on site. That's currently on hold. And they also do non-perishable hampers, which has been going on. That's on a weekly basis. In Sydney, they're doing monthly hamper service. Brisbane, they're doing weekly and daily homeless feeding, which is on hold, and weekly hot and cold drinks to the homeless in the CBD area, which is also on hold at the moment. In Western Australia, weekly fun day activities, the kids are fed lunch. That is again also on hold. In Murwillumbah, we're doing weekly hampers. So that's fruit and veg hampers that we get from the local supermarkets that don't fit the shelf criteria or coming close to best before dates. So those all get thrown out. So the charity companies then pick those up, and then we give it out to those who need them. So we started this a year and a half ago, and we're averaging about 25 hampers per week. We also do daily breakfast service in one of the local schools that started about a year and a half ago. That's again on hold until further notice. And but by end of March, we started the daily dinner service, which has been going on since. We roughly have about 20 volunteers, so who are cooking, delivering, and providing the groceries. This is mainly for the daily dinner service. We've been advertising on local Facebook group, in Movalamba itself, word of mouth, so through friends and things, and also our local newspapers. So that's actually attracted quite a few volunteers, and they're helping where possible. So one of the problems that we have is volunteer burnout. So out of the 20, we can probably say a good handful that do this service on a regular basis, but then that's causing those who do it on a regular basis to feel a bit burnt out. And some of us are also ones with young kids. So we also we want to do the service, but we, in a way, struggling with time, commitment, and also to do the service. So what is your advice on that? How do we go about, how do we make this sustainable, especially those, with the younger kids?
I think it's a very valid question, and the most important question. It is something which I also personally have gone through it. Ryan, you want me to answer, or you want to answer it? Okay, so this one thing I would say, yeah, this volunteer burnout is always there. I'm personally kind of experiencing it, and fortunately or unfortunately, and this volunteer burnout happens only to people who are having children. Okay, so it's very challenging. You see, you have to take care of your family, your wife, and if you are very newly married and within a year or 2 years you have a baby, and then you need to take care. So you need to handle your wife and then your children, and then your mind keeps telling you should also do seva. So actually, my opinion is, if you feel that there is a volunteer burnout, you should not kind of make them, go through that. It's not the amount of work which you have done which is important. It is more about the quality of work which is being done. So you don't need to run too many projects if that is the case. Of course, anyways, there's a lockdown right now. But after the lockdown also, you can make some changes. You can say, okay, we will not have 7 or 8 projects, and we will only have 1 or 2 projects. I mean, if that is something which can be done. Because see, definitely any volunteer can take up 1 project per year. Now he cannot come back and say volunteer burnout. And I can take a simple example of Sai Prasad Ivatori, who is there on this call. Sai is, kind of, he's very senior in corporate background, but he handles that, and then he handles Annapurna Financials, then he handles the Gurukulam, then he handles the, various other things which come up to him. The Youth Seva Webinar is the latest one. So, it is all depending upon how much you can handle. At one point of time, even if somebody comes in, tells me, hey, can you do that? You should be very, honest and say, brother, I have 2-3 things. I cannot take up this 4th job. So I would suggest maybe you can downsize the list of activities. Don't put too much of activities for volunteers. It will just not kind of challenge their mindset. Maybe at family also there will be pressure. So that we need to understand. Yeah, but see, Swami is also not in a hurry. He never said, I want this thing to be done, that thing to be done, nothing like that. He said at the end of the day, if it is transforming you, you take up. See, instead of transformation, if that person starts thinking, oh, this is another project I need to do, the attitude is not good, it is neither good for him nor for you or anybody in the team. So, we are going through it. Today also I go through it. Somebody comes and says, can you do this for me? I could not say no to them. And I end up doing it all through the night till 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. And then, I'm not doing the best of my jobs. And, I'm only cursing this guy, why did he reach me out? It is unnecessarily troubling my mind. And yesterday, day before yesterday, just because of one small incident, I always try to take myself as an example. Sai Prasad is also there on the call. Just because of one small incident in the morning, all through the day, I had to, my mind got disturbed. So somebody asked for some help, and I started, oh my God, this is another work I need to do. I can't say no to them. So don't put pressure on volunteers. If they are really capable, you definitely can give them, and they will accept it. So that's my suggestion. I might be wrong, but this is what I felt from my perspective.
Thank you for sharing. I think you may have covered this, but how do we inspire volunteers for certain projects, so then they feel they feel like they're benefiting from doing it, as opposed to just doing it because it's a seva that they need to do? How do we gauge the interest in the service that we're doing?
See,
How do you make them and want to help?
This is another one question which I like answering back. See, it's not that, if you put posting on Facebook or in Twitter or somewhere else, Instagrams, you get people. Yeah, you might get people, but that might happen or may not happen. But what I realized is, let's say, if you have a couple of your friends, whomsoever you have. So if you really want them to work for you, to be very honest, you don't need to give work to them. All you need to do is talk to them softly. Anytime. It could be anytime, just like how Swami does for us. When he comes for satsangs, how soft and sweet he speaks to us. You just speak to them softly, sweetly. Share the love with them. And it might look theory, but if you practice it, what happens? The person whom with you're sharing this, right, he'll be super excited. And never discourage him, never shout at him, never keep him away from some other, or rather I would say never discard him, never make him have this thought in his mind. The only thought he should get is, oh, Anand, I didn't know Anand is so sweet, soft guy and such a wonderful person. I should definitely work for him. That's it. That's the miracle. If you're able to do that with whomsoever you have, that's enough. Yes, Swami, how did he start all these large projects? Where was the people for him? Very simple, sweet speaking, soft speaking, equanimity in what he speaks. That's it. Did he ever, Ryan should be knowing it. Did Swami ever, speak with you rudely, harshly? Never. Even today also, even after we making so many mistakes, he never spoke to us rudely, harsh. Love, complete love. And we have close to about 300 volunteers are really active. And we have never got into a confrontation at all. Never. Leave aside doing any work. So if you feel that you want to increase that team, the current team is your team. That's enough. If you are able to take care of their needs, if they're able to handle them in a better way, if you're able to give them much more importance, if you can give them much more authority of work. For example, next call, which you are trying to organize is Asia Pacific, instead of you organizing it or you moderating it, you can tell your colleague to moderate. So if you try to put them in your shoes, naturally you don't need to do anything. They'll get their teams. And this has been a logic and this is a mantra. There is nothing else. Facebook, Instagram, all these are just for putting likes. I mean, tell me how many of us really got volunteers? Probably out of 100, maybe 1 or 2. At least in India, I'm not too sure of Singapore and all. But here, India, we are so a shortage of volunteers. But that's how it is. We were able to keep our team intact. Just to give an example, I'm not trying to boast over here. the first team which we started the breakfast program, first team, about 10 or 15 of us. Even today also we are like that. We never had any, what do you say, fight. We never had a confrontation. We never had any exchange of words which are not so good. In fact, I was sometimes maybe rude to them, but they never showed it back to me. Because then I realized, oh my God, I did a mistake. I should have kept myself calm. So I keep learning from them. So I feel love, sweet talking and love, that's enough for you to increase a team.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for that. Sister Diah, would you like to take forth?
Yeah, thank you. Mrs. Heram, thank you for the opportunity. I'm Dia from Bali. I would like to share about our experience doing Annapoorna. Until now, we have done a few of three school, and the first school we have served is a elementary school, SD Negeri 3 Bangli. We served about 116 students, and that's why we did 3 times a week. And the second school is SD Negeri 2 Mundo. We serve about 60 children, and the third school is SD. The third school is SD Negeri 3 Sidan, Gianyar. We serve about 96 children, and we distribute nutrition food like a short meal, biscuit, fried rice, and corn with honey and cheese. And our problem is similar like a sister from Australia. I forget her name. I'm sorry. The problem is financing problem, and we just have 4 volunteers to do this project, and we have to reach the volunteer, and I don't know what should I do, what should we do. Please just give me advice or guidance us. Thank you.
So Ryan, you want me to answer this or?
Yes, sure.
Yeah. I'm only answering them. Yeah, okay, fine. So now I understand what the previous sister was also trying to refer. Yeah, so while I was listening to your the report, I thought one thing to add to what I told earlier. See, let me just explain you one more simple incident. 2012, 2013, 14, 15, 16. I think these are the 5 years. I would say at a personal level, these are my golden years. Because Swami used to call me every month. Every month there is one call or the other, and you get some guidance, and you basically know how Ryan was pampering the girl, the boy was there, baby boy, right?
Girl.
Girl, yeah. So baby girl, how he was pampering the girl. Swami pampered me. I wouldn't say pampered. It was a training. Every month he used to call me. Every month he used to tell me this, that, and all. But look at the difference. 2016, 17, 18, 19. Once or twice or thrice or 4 times or 5 times maximum in a year. Not more than that. He hardly, he looks at us. We give a report to him. He doesn't take. So why I'm saying this is, why I'm basically telling, look at Swami's way of training a person. He will put his full attention on that person during the initial days. And once he's grown up and he understands, he doesn't need to do much. So to answer this question back to the previous sister, in case if we get new friends, any new colleagues who want to join, put your 200% on them. Put your complete 200% on them. Leave aside your existing friends who are there on this web conference call. You don't need to talk to them, or you don't need to encourage them. Even my speech doesn't need to be spoken for encouraging them. They any which ways are connected to Swami. But a new person comes, put 200% on. So what 200%? How will you put it? Talk to him, engage with him, speak with him lovingly, ask him a bit more about himself. Tell me what help you want. Like that, if you go deeper and deeper, just like how Swami was doing it, one day he will become like the people like us in this group. Number one. Now, where do we get this kind of people? Now that's a challenge. Now, like what Madam was telling over here, only 4 people are there, 4 volunteers are there in this place. How do we get it? So now Swami gave a wonderful answer to this also. Swami said that, like how we are conducting this kind of conference calls, we should talk to many of the college students. Now, college students, you go and talk to them, and you should kind of make it very interesting for them. Which means, what kind of interesting things can you do with them? See, Swami very clearly keeps giving discourses, and some of the discourses are repeated. It is like third time, fourth time, fifth time. Most of you might be seeing it, right? And whenever he repeats, why Swami is repeating the same thing? But Swami has a reason for it. He says, you might have heard in this satsang, but there is one person in this whole group who may not be aware of that story. So only for that person, Swami repeats the entire story. Correct? So how he repeats that entire story for that one person, how he takes that much interest on that one person, like that, when we go and talk to these college students. So what did Swami do? Swami went into their shoes. He wanted to get into their mindset. He has come down from the top all the way to the down to explain it to us. Like a small child will come and ask Swami, Swami, can I join a bhajan group? Just a 7 years old boy will come and talk to him. Swami gives an equal answer. You are still small Babu, you are still small Bangaru. I will tell you when to join. So he goes up to that level and explains it, right? So, so like that, when you go to any of these colleges, we have to be a bit intelligent over here. Now, what is this intelligence? You should ask them, brothers, we are from so-and-so organization. Are you conducting any programs for your student programs, student forums? We would like to sponsor. We would like to participate. Sponsor in the sense, some sort of money, it could be like you be a sponsorship for that event. You give us a half an hour of your time. So let's say they give half an hour of the time and you make an innovative presentation, and the presentation should not be like you make some slide decks and then, half the time their minds are so wavery, they will not even listen to you at all. So somewhere very creative, you should do it. And then after doing it, let's say if you have met about 50 of them in a conference, in a meeting, you may not know, there'll be one person in that who will show interest. There'll be one person somewhere in that group who will show interest, and you will definitely find to know who is that person when you talk to them. Mission achieved. Mission achieved. Why? Because Swami has sent you to get that one person out of the 50 people. Okay. So two things. One, try to get into their shoes. Make your presentations innovative. Make it more interesting. Try to make it more adjustable to their tune. Number one. So we need to get into that. And once you go there, you will get 1 or 2 guys in that, and you start focusing on them. And as I told, 200%. Once again, 200%. Once you know these people are coming into our fold, 200% put attention on them. Now the 4 will become 6. After 6 will become 10. And I still remember in 2017 or 18, Swami told Ryan to start this one youth program. And he kind of started with nobody with him, apart from the Sai devotees and all the usual gang of people who are connected to Swami. But what did he do? He connected to all his friends, everyone, whoever he is. They may not even know about Sai Baba. They don't know anything about Sai Baba, but they're able to get connected. I think the same thing you need to do in your case also. Try to identify, if not do a virtual meeting with them, you can even use small gift hampers to them, some gifts to them, just to get connected. And that's the way I feel, we can't expect a large number of people to get transformed. So I feel that should be the way, in your case.
Thank you so much, brother, for the guidance us.
Yeah, is that a usual general answer you got, or is there anything unique in my answer?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that, Brother Anand. I think we've actually definitely learned a lot just through the three of us. The problems that we've had, I think all of it's relevant to every to everyone doing the survey. So thank you so much for everything you shared. Shall we open up to the audience if there's any questions that you need? Well, we have Brother Anand online as well. Is there any questions anyone has?
All of them have become Brahmagyan is silence. Silence everywhere. I thought there'll be some questions.
Sister Diah, Brother Dhayalan, any more questions that you have for Brother Anand? Any other problems, anything else that you would like clarified?
Masih kan sekarang lockdown. No, it's lockdown.
I just thought, I will also make Mr. Sai Prasad, who is there in this call, just a few words from his end, because he is also sitting in ashram. Sai, if you're there, would you like to just share a couple of your thoughts, if you feel like? Sai Prasad? Maybe you can switch on your audio. Yes, yeah, video. Yeah.
Yes, Sairam, everybody. I think Anand covered every bit. And I've been fortunate to be associated with Anand for many, many years, since 2012, since also almost the beginning of the Breakfast Seva and so on. And I think it covered very well what Swami has been focusing on lately. And I think one statement that Swami said captures it all. Swami has already said that, in terms of all his activities, it is going to continue to grow over the years. And he's already willed that Annapoorna will become the largest breakfast program in the world and things like that. That is already there. The beneficiaries will anyway be benefited. But in a certain way, you have to be really focused on your own growth. The trust, what Anand said, Swami says, the trust will continue to grow, but are the trustees growing? That's a challenge that he has given to all of us. And that will kind of be true for everybody as well. And I think the only way that he can multiply and all the activities in the best way possible is the best seva that we can ever do for Swami is to become him. He has been saying that for the last couple of years, but we really did not know exactly what he was talking about. Maybe, but lately with all the Master the Mind series and the 30-day challenge that Swami has been undertaking, he has now made it very, very clear. You can become me. And when you become me, you can do everything with the same level of intensity, the same kind of love, and it will expand all over the world and so on. So I think all the people who are there in this group, I think please pay heed to what Anand just suggested in terms of taking up the Master the Minds, not just the intellectualization of it, but try to start very much live those things that Swami has been telling us for our own good, and then the Guru Kripa, which is really the mercy or the pity of the God, will be showering upon us, and we become transformed. We can do much better there as well. That's really what I was thinking at this time. Thanks for the opportunity, Anand.
Thank you, Sai, for giving your insights. Just want to tell Sai is leading the Sri Sathya Sai online program. Swami has nominated him about 3 weeks back. You can also go to the YouTube channel, Sri Sathya Sai Lokaseva Gurukulam, and I take this opportunity to invite all of you. If any of you are interested to volunteer online, this is an opportunity for all of you. It's open, and anybody interested to do PowerPoint presentations, anybody interested to review the videos which have been made by the institutions over here, you're most welcome. Anybody interested at any time, please ping us, or you can tell Ryan, and I will take your contact numbers. And it's not a rocket science, very simple, very easy kind of work which will be given to you. So don't worry, we already have people, but God's grace, Swami's grace today, we have got a wonderful opportunity to talk to all the Asia Pacific youth, and we thought we should throw this opportunity for all of you as well. So you can come back to us if anybody wants to volunteer for that matter. We need some people who are good at animations. Please let us know. We have some videos to be done as animations. I know Dinesh is there in this call. Animations are needed for our videos. So some PowerPoint presentations, all these things, we need some people for that matter.
Thank you so much, Brother Anand. Thank you so much, Brother Sai Prasad as well. I think both of you have pretty much summarized the whole talk for today. So thank you very much. If there's no other questions, Brother Ryan.
Yeah, thank you so much, brothers. And I'd just like to thank Brother Yudhishthira, who's working the back end. So he's prepared the whole session today and he's been toggling. It's very stressful and challenging to do it live. So thank you, Brother Yudhis. And thank you to our 3 representatives and to Sister Sindhu for moderating the session. Thank you all very much. And thank you again to our brothers from India for joining us. And of course, thank you, Swami, for making this possible and for this beautiful opportunity to have this conversation. I think we all really learned a lot. Thank you, brother. Any last words from you?
Yeah, I don't have, I just sent that link to all of you. One last word which I have is today you can start, if anybody has not started the Master the Mind series, the link is there available right now. Write it your chat box. Please click on it, episode 1, start, and you should be enjoying the session. That's the only thing I can say. Let's continue the sadhana. Sai Ram. Thank you.